CFA Nation? Gabe, and I am back today to bring you guys installment 3. That's right, installment 3 of our 8-part episode reviewing the IPL 2020 IPL, where we're going to be overviewing doing a brief overview on all 8 teams. Nick already did episode 1. I did episode 2 yesterday on the Delhi Capitals, and let's put it out there right now, that was a mitigated disaster, okay? That was a mitigated disaster. Trust me, you guys let me know in the comments, okay? With that being said, in my defense, I'm not really fully convinced I know how to read. I've just memorized a lot of words. No, I'm joking, guys. Yeah, I know how to read. But all jokes aside, with that being said, no excuses. I just need to do more research, put in more time, work a little bit harder to give you guys a better product. And that's what I'm hoping to do today. So, without further ado, we're going to get into episode 3, where I will be doing a brief overview on KKR, or for the uninitiated, that's the Kolkata Knight Riders. That's right, Kolkata Knight Riders. Now, fun fact about this team, and I've done some research on them, they are a fun team. First of all, to me, they seem like they're the Lakers, okay? They're owned by a celebrity, by a superstar. You know, anyone who's into Indian cinema and Indian film, Bollywood, knows that SRK is a superstar. Nick and I have watched several of his films. Nick's a way bigger fan than I am. But, bottom line is that brings us a certain kind of cachet or celebrity, right, to the team. Another co-owner of the team is Juhi Chawla. Juhi Chawla. And, And she's also an Indian actress who's very, very famous. Again, having this kind of cachet means a lot of press coverage. A lot of times your team's going to be in the paper. And, it's good for business. Let's be honest. It's good for business. So, the team was established back in 2008. They're one of the 8 original IPL teams. And, after a disappointing 2019 where they missed the playoffs, the Knight Riders decided, we're going to completely revamp, we're going to make some changes, and they brought in a new head coach, Brendan McCullum, who is considered one of the most successful batsmen in white ball cricket history for New Zealand, okay? He's a New Zealander cricketer. He just retired last year, August of 2019, so realistically speaking, he's really just fresh off the field, and he's going to be more of what you call a player's coach. He's been there, done that, and I think that's only going to help out this team, especially since one of his proteges is also on this team, Owen Morgan, who we'll talk about later, who was the captain of the 2019 English team that won the World Cup, right? The white ball captain. With that being said, let's move to our captain. Our captain for KKR is Dinesh Karthik. Dinesh Karthik became captain in 2018. The home grounds are Eden Garden Stadium. Eden Garden Stadium looks beautiful from the picture. Some fun facts about the Knight Riders. The Knight Riders hold the record for the longest winning streak by any Indian team in T20. That's 14 consecutive wins. 14 consecutive wins. The leading run scorer for KKR is Gautam Gambhir. And the leading wicket taker, or scalp, that's a new term I've learned while researching Indian cricket. I like that term better. Okay, the leading scalp taker for KKR is Sunil Narine. We know him personally from my squad. I was watching him in the CPL. TKR, right? Trimbago Knight Riders, and the guy is a savage, man. He's an all-rounder. Hopefully he's healed up. He missed a few games there towards the end. Didn't really matter. TKR ended up winning the championship anyway, but yes, that's their leading wicket scorer. Wicket taker. Their official colors are purple and gold, and the name is a reference on the popular 1980s American sitcom Knight Rider. Now, I gotta say, when Nick and I were first choosing CPL teams, I went with Pollard because I had seen a video and watched Pollard. Said, man, this guy's a mountain, man. He's a man of a house. I want to rock with him. You know what I'm saying? And I recognized some of the names on the team, so I said, I'm going to rock with him. And I thought the name was cool. Now, we were jokingly saying, oh, the Knight Riders, like Michael Knight. I had no idea that's actually why KKR chose the team. And later on, in 2015, KKR bought a stake in the Korean Premier League and bought the team Trinidad and Tobago Red Steel and renamed them Tobago Knight Riders. So that's actually where it comes from, Knight Riders. I love it. If you've never seen Michael Knight and Kit, Kit was a talking car. That's this cheesy, great 80s television show. Man, I gotta say, David Hasselhoff was a god here in America. The ladies loved him. I guess he was bigger in Germany too. I didn't realize he was singing after he finished his television career. He went on to be Mitch in Baywatch. Okay, that's just some nerd knowledge for you there. But yeah, that's why they chose the team name, the Knight Riders. So they've been a pretty successful franchise, and their main rivals are the Mumbai Indians. Funny enough, they both made the playoffs for the first time in 2011, and we'll get to that right now as we talk about their history in the IPL. So in 2008, they started off pretty slow. They finished 6 out of 8 teams in the league stage. 2009, bottom of the barrel, man, 8 out of 8. 2010, same thing, 6 out of 8. 2011, this is when the turnaround starts. They qualified for the playoffs for the first time since the inception of the league and finished 4 out of 10, and they made the playoffs that year. Both the Knight Riders and Mumbai Indians made the playoffs that year, and Mumbai beat the Knight Riders by 4 wickets. Ouch, the rivalry begins. In 2012, after licking their wounds, KKR came back to finish first out of 9 teams in the IPL. First out of 9 teams in the IPL. Both Kolkata and Mumbai were chasing a playoff spot, and this time Kolkata beat Mumbai, knocked them out of the playoffs, and won its first championship, its first of 2. Okay, so let me stick it right back to you. Return the favor. In 2011, you knocked me out. In 2012, I'll knock you out, Mumbai. So you can see where the rivalry begins. Fun fact, all right. After winning the championship, SRK, the owner of the team, was banned for 5 years for running on the field. I guess home stadium for the Mumbai Indians, they said that he was like, I guess being rude or abusing the security staff. I don't know what that means. They probably told him to get off the field. He's like, bro, you don't know who I am? You know what I mean? Back then, any which way, I'm sure fans were allowed on the field. He's an owner, but whatever. The lifetime ban, or the 5-year ban, was lifted in 2015. But that just goes to show you how serious this rivalry is with the Mumbai Indians. All right, guys. So moving on to 2013, they finished 7 out of 9. 2014, back to their winning ways, finished first out of 8 teams and won the championship. 2015. They barely missed the playoffs, finishing 5 out of 8. 2016, 17, and 18, they made the playoffs all 3 years, finishing 4th, 3rd, and 3rd consecutively. As I mentioned already, 2019 was a little bit of disappointment as they missed the playoffs, finishing 5 out of 8 teams. 5 out of 8 teams. So now let's talk about the squad. And we begin with our batsmen. First up, we have Nitish Rana, Indian-born batsman, left-handed, 26-year-old. I love young players. Okay, they got a lot of energy, and they can always, as those injuries start setting in with older players, they can always step up. Next, we got Shubman Gill. Shubman Gill is a 21-year-old batsman out of India, right-handed batsman, and this guy won Emerging Player in 2019. Everybody's really excited to see what Shubman Gill is going to be able to do. So, he looks like the future for India. He is going to be one of the opening batsmen for KKR, and he will be partnering with Narain, right? With Narain. So, yeah, a lot of fun stuff there. Next, we got Rinkun Singh. Rinkun Singh, okay? He is a 22-year-old left-handed batsman, and you could already see how the team is constructed. Lefty, righty, lefty, righty. So they have some diversity there. Left-handed batsman out of India. Next up, we have Siddhesh Lad. Siddhesh Lad, 28-year-old right-handed batsman out of India. Next up, we have Owen Morgan. Owen Morgan, he is the import. He comes from England. He was the white ball captain for that 2019 World Cup winning team that I mentioned earlier. Left-handed batsman, 34 years old, so he's a little long in the tooth, but this guy has some serious skill. I believe he's been in the IPL longer than any other English player. Let me know in the comments if that's correct. But loads of experience. Just won a championship for England in 2019, so hopefully he can do the same for KKR. Next up, we have Rahul Tripathi. Rahul Tripathi is a 29-year-old right-handed batsman from India. And that rounds out our batsmen. Next up, we have our all-rounders. First up, we have Andre Russell, okay, import from Jamaica. This guy is a savage. He's a right-handed batsman and a right-handed fast-medium bowler. All right. You don't even need to know. Everybody knows who Andre Russell is. Super famous. He's a brand name, as we say. And he is going to be batting 6th in this lineup. So I'm expecting big things for KKR and Andre Russell. Next up, our next all-rounder we have is another import from Trinidad, and that's Sunil Narine. Narine is from is a all-rounder, left-handed batsman, right-handed bowler, and I saw him play for TKR. I mean, this guy's an absolute savage. My only concern is he did miss 2 games towards the end of the season. They said he was healing up. Really, I don't feel like TKR even needed them, so they probably were just giving him some rest. Hopefully, he comes in fully healthy. But when healthy, this guy can kill you either with the bat or the ball. I love bowling, and he is a scout taker. As I mentioned before, he's KKR's all-time leading scout taker. So I love that about this guy. Next up, we have Chris Green. Chris Green, Australian import. This guy is 26 years old, and he's a right-handed batsman. Okay, moving on to our wicket keepers. First up, we have Dinesh Karthik. He is a 35-year-old right-handed Indian batsman. Dinesh is the captain of the team, and he actually led India to the first test tour victory in England in 21 years. He was the leading scorer, all right, in 2007. So this guy knows how to win. Experience, like I mentioned. He's 35 years old, and he is the captain of the team. After him, we have Tom Banton. And Tom Banton is English player. We saw him play, I believe he was on the ODI team. He's on the ODI team. Nick and I have seen him play a few times, maybe the test team as well. And Tom Banton can flat out rake, man. I mean, this lineup is so deep. And what's crazy is when I give you the lineup 1 through 7 later on, Banton's going to be at the bottom, batting at the bottom. He'll be 8th or 9th. Like, that's your 8th or 9th batter? Are you serious? KKR is stacked. When I say stacked, they're stacked. All right. Next up, we have our spin bowlers. And our first spin bowler is Kuldeep Yadav. Now, Kuldeep Yadav is a 25-year-old left-handed, wrist spinner, And he had a rough year last year. Hopefully he bounces back this year. You guys know wrist spinners are so important, especially in this format, T20. Spinners are usually your leading wicket takers, so hopefully he gets back to form and helps KKR win another championship. Next up, we have M. Siddharth. Siddharth is a left-handed orthodox bowler, spin bowler. You know what? This guy is so fun. He's a baby, 22 years old. I want you to go ahead and just type in his name into Google, and they have you. The first video that comes up, and you can watch it on Google, is Siddharth takes 3 scalps, and this guy is animated. He's absolutely filthy, And our last spin bowler is Varun Chakravarti, who's a 29-year-old right-handed batsman, and right-armed leg break spinner. 3 spinners are relatively good, but we also can't forget we have some all-rounders for this tournament. You can never, bowling is where teams need to be built, because any team can chase any score in T20 if the other team doesn't have good bowlers, and we saw that in the CPL. So with as deep as this lineup is, and as many bowlers that they have, I'm excited for their prospects. Our next pace bowler is Pradrish Krishna. Okay, he's a 24-year-old right arm fast medium bowler. Again, a lot of youth, especially with these pace bowlers. That should bode well as far as injuries is concerned. Next up, we have Lockie Ferguson, and he is a New Zealand right-armed fast bowler. Fast bowler. Next, we have Sandeep Warrior, 29-year-old medium fast right-arm bowler. And we also have Paddy Cummins. Now, KKR broke the bank to sign Paddy Cummins this year, but I think that's going to be the key. This is an import from Australia, and let me tell you, Paddy Cummins is legit. This guy can bowl. He's actually slated to bat 7th, but who knows, in that lineup, you don't really even need him to bat. He is there predominantly to take wickets, all right, and take scalps. Now, as of late last night, there was a change. Ali Khan has been added to the team. 29-year-old American bowler and batsman. 29-year-old American bowler and batsman from TKR. He will be the first American cricketer to join the IPL, and he is replacing Harry Gurney. So that is the team. That's the squad. Out of all these players, right now, just highlighting some of the guys that are really gonna carry the team on their shoulders, so to speak, and we got to keep an eye on for this year. We got to look at the opening partnership of Subman Gill and Narayan. Even though Narayan, like I mentioned, was injured in the TKR series in the CPL. Hopefully he's healthy, and that will be the 1-2 opening partnership as far as batting is concerned. At 3, we got Nitish Rana. At 4, we have Owen Morgan. At 5, we have Dinesh Karthik, the captain. And at 6, we have Andre Russell. Now that 4, 5, 6 guys, the lowest strike rate for that trio is 170, 180. So realistically, if the scores are as low as they were in the CPL, I don't know how you lose to that. We'll see what happens, but I'm telling you that this team is absolutely stacked. I'm so excited to watch them play this year, and I'm not trying to play my cards too early, but this is going to be one of my finalists as I choose for who I'm going to be rooting for in the IPL. So a little bit more information. They do have a orange cap winner in 2014. Robin Uthappa, Indian player. Robin Uthappa won the orange cap for them. They have 0 purple cap winners, and they have oh, look at that. It's once again in 2012. Sunil Nareen won the purple cap. I mean, the most valuable player, I should say. And in 2015, they also have Andre Russell, won in 2018, and Nareen again in 2019. I mean, they're stacked with MVPs. They are stacked with MVPs. They don't have any most sixes awards. And emerging players, as I mentioned earlier, you got Shubman Gill. Everybody's excited for him. He broke out last year in 2019. Okay, I thought this was a funny anecdote. They've never won a Fair Play Award. 0. Could that be because, you got an animated crowd and ownership and probably players? Again, SRK being banned for walking on the field after a championship for 5 years. Who knows? Maybe that's what the whole fair play thing about, but they've never won one. They do have 2 championships again, 2012 and 2014. All right, guys. Well, that was a fun review of the Kolkata Knight Riders. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments where I messed up. If you're excited for your team, if this is your team, are you concerned about Nareen's injuries in CPL? And how excited are you for this season? All right, how excited are you for this season? I honestly think after looking at all these teams, this team is stacked, and they're gonna be tough to beat. They are gonna be tough to beat. With that being said, guys, you already know the deal. Check back in with us tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel.